What's up, traders? Matt from the Trade Brigade here doing a technical analysis on ticker symbol BKKT for Bakkt holdings. On the left-hand side, we do have the daily time frame, and on the right-hand side, the 30-minute intraday time frame. First things first, yes, this will be an update. The last time we talked, we were talking about the new IPO or merger date here, which looks like it was, if I hover the cursor there, 10/18, so on Monday, of course. That being said, Friday threw a wrench in the mix of things. Obviously, we recaptured the low, we recaptured the open. Well, we didn't close above, but we certainly traded through it. And we also traded through the high, setting a new all-time high at $10.11. Let's take a look at the intraday 30-minute time frame to see how this move actually unfolded and what was kind of going on here. So I will say that the catalyst had a lot to do with them releasing their earnings date. That's going to be here on the 12th of November. So keep that in mind. Again, it's not to say that you should be long or short headed into the announcement, just some sort of, reference point for investors to look at as we move forward in the stock. In terms of how the move actually unfolded, let's take out our Fibonacci's here, come in from the low of where the movement started from. We'll come on up to let's go to the first high. What you'll notice is that on the pullback, that red candle in there, sure, we did violate the 38.2, sort of closed underneath the 50, but as you know, if we can recapture both of those areas in the next green candle, then it's not really the end of the world. Okay, so obviously we moved higher. I just wanted to point out that, the first pullback there, it wasn't the most healthy, but it wasn't, again, the end of the world. If we do something like this, what you'll notice on this next pullback, this red candle here, is that it perfectly held the 38.2. So that to me would strike me as a better sign of strength from the buyers. This time we'll come from the low all the way on up to the high just to see where this 38.2 was, clearly closing underneath it here, or violating it rather, and then closing underneath it here on that last red candle. But in terms of candle structure and daily structure, I wouldn't strike me as the end of the world. Remember that's the 50% mark, as well as, right, if we do something like this and just use this prior high as an area of interest, it's very close to 9 the whole dollar as well. Doing something like this, if we could get a click here on the platform, very annoying, but nonetheless, we do get a click. And scrolling left, I also pretend with me for a second, if we do something like this, it's tying in perfectly with the prior highs right around here. So all things considered, I like this 9 area, and I like the fact that it held on this end of day pullback. So in terms of scenarios and what I'll be watching for into the upcoming week, can we hold on to 9? That's, of course, question number 1. So healthy consolidation starts here. A recapture of this 941 does start to put into play. Look left, right? Very poor structure in here. We know that that's how that move unfolded. And then here as well, right? There's really no clear ridge per se, something like this, where we have, structure up here that we need to pay attention to, like resistance and resistance. It's not like that at all. Instead, we just have an area of clearance, essentially. So on the break of 941, that's where I could potentially see people getting reinterested, knowing that it was also the opening print, right? So all things considered, 941 unlocks the door to about, let's just call it 50 cents, 60 cents higher, up towards $10. After that, all-time highs are in sight and blue sky levels after that. So the trade to really watch out for here is probably, consolidation and then potentially a break for something like this. 941 is that critical area to be watching out for all those reasons that we just discussed. Underneath 9 the whole dollar, as we know, that's the critical number to hold. I would just be very careful, noting that there's really no structural bottom, pattern in place yet. So I would wait for something to happen, right? Can we put in some sort of higher low, something like this? Basically anything that's higher than this zone down here at around $8, the nice round number you can see from that perfect little bubble in there. So those are kind of my thoughts. Really, the only long-sided trade, again, stems from the break of 941, being patient, waiting for a structural setup if it wants to take out that 9 and sort of move underneath and into that $8-ish zone. So that's going to wrap up the video. If you enjoyed it or learned anything new, let me know in the comments section or by giving the video a thumbs up. Don't forget our main channel is linked in the description, and all of that being said, I wish you a green trading week.